Those flowers smell so beautiful. Even though, for whatever reason, that butterfly just seems to distract me every once in a while. But I'm guessing because he wants to able to protect every single flowers of nature. So either way though, I need to get it off of me. Well, at least as far as I'm concerned. Hey, what is up ladies and gentlemen, I am Piglet here once again, and I am back for some more yet again for the likes of the Maxi Toys videos. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to more Let's Play of Super Mario Galaxy for the Nintendo Wii. So last time we've actually did manage to completely done with the Gateway Galaxy as far as the second visit on that specific level by simply able to actually collecting those purple coins and stuff. In addition with that, we also did manage to start things off with the forms of the Golden Dome by actually getting things started by the forms of, you know, Deep Dark Galaxy. And today for this episode is the fact that we're about to be continuing on with the forms of the Golden Dome, and that way we can able to now move on to the next level, which is the Dreadnoughts Galaxy. Because of that, hopefully we're able to actually gather more power stars as you would think. So here we go with the first mission in Dreadnoughts Galaxy, and that is the forms of infiltrating the Dreadnought. So as far as this particular stage is concerned, it's kind of like a spiritual sequel, or in this case a somewhat of a sequel to Battle Rock Galaxy, because as far as I can tell, that we might actually bump into the forms of the exact same background music as soon as we're able to hear in any moment's noticing. But for right now though is the fact that all we have to do is basically, that we need to dodge a lot of electricity around here, because either way though, that's as far as memories goes. That's all I can say about this here. See, and then though, yeah, not much else to really tell about this particular stage. At least it's pretty nice to look at though, even by the forms of how the fact that, well, it's not made out of rocks essentially, but rather than by the forms of somewhat of a construction building parts or something like that, or perhaps it's maybe something else, but I digress. So we need to take down these little helmet Goombas here, so just in case if we could proceed. Even though for some reason I did have a hard time on this particular section for some reason, just because, you know, we actually get to be surrounded by the forms of those three enemies right there, but it takes place in the center of a somewhat of a curved ball thing. But as a result though, if you manage to do it well enough, well, if you manage to defeat them that is, then you were able to actually proceed and onwards. So yeah, you get the picture. So anyway, so let's go ahead and do a 2D section once in a while, just like in once how it did in, you know, the Battle Rock Galaxy, except, well, obviously the actual environment itself is now significantly different. But either way, before we continue, however, though, we'll go ahead and obtain the live shroom quickly. So just in case if we could able to actually double the amount of health that we can get. And as a result, though, things can get a little bit more comfortable around here. See, even then, though, I almost got crushed for a moment ago. In fact, I don't know if it's possible to be able to actually just to achieve the triple jump technique. Even then, I'm also able to give it a go, but it might be not possible with Mario though, just because, well, his jump height wasn't nearly as high when we get to the forms of later on throughout this game offers, because either way, again, I'm not gonna spoil things for this point right there, so just in case that I'll able to actually just to let you guys know until later on though. So anyways though, so today was actually forms of the 13th, in this case the unlucky 13th day. Well, to be expected, ironically, this is actually a lucky day for the forms of today actually, because I'll mention about that until whenever we get to that a second, because for right now I need to concentrate on this mission, because either way though we need to hopefully, God forbid, trying to able to not get crushed by the forms of these little smash compactors here, and especially noticeable just getting knocked back by the forms of those cannonballs, and you name the picture for this point. So anyways, and wow, that was actually a very good technique right there. And as a result, yeah, it's the exact same music that we've heard from Battle Rock Galaxy. So even though that's why it's a spiritual sequel to the forms of, you know, Battle Rock Galaxy ever since the Fountain Dome. Except this particular stage can be very tricky, but honestly, it's not too bad, until later on anyway, because either way though, that we might actually get into ourselves a little bit more challenging as far as the actual mission's concerned. So even then though, let's just go ahead and just go all the way up, and then that way we can able to launch ourselves to the next planet. I could potentially try to get the extra life from that bust out cage here, but I don't know if I can able to do that, I'm afraid, just because, well, at this point we've already just got a few of those extra lives at the moment, so naturally I can able to cope with it no problem. So I don't have to worry about this kind of stuff for right about now, actually. So, anyways, though, let's get into the forms of the actual main point of this actual discussion. Actually, today is about time to able to now finally have the Nintendo Direct at long last. And in fact, it's going to be out and during the likes of today, but only later on when it gets to like 10 PM or 11 PM. Specifically, it depends on what countries you lived in. So you can then know. It might be run on the exact same time between each countries though, so you can then know nothing else to be expected for this point. And I think it's actually kind of odd that how the fact that ever since back in 2017, in specifically the 13th of September in 2017, that it's been a really long while, so in this case a very long time. Ever since back in during the likes of in 2017, they managed to able to actually set up the whole entire Nintendo Direct. Gonna be hosting until the forms of Wednesdays now, because either way, originally I was expecting there might actually be, oh my gosh, the Mega Koopa's right, trying to follow me, no, get away from me, okay, jeez, wow, I'm actually quite surprised he actually got onto the actual UFO platforms right there, which I found kind of surprising right there. But anyways, enough about that. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to when if I watch the Nintendo Direct tonight, and as a result though, as far as the actual description, as far as the Direct goes, it mainly focusing on the, or actually the main focus, or the huge focus on Nintendo Directs this time around, it's gonna be just Nintendo Switch, rather than both Nintendo Switch and the forms of Nintendo 3DS, because I'm sure that the 3DS itself is slowly going to be fading away for its life cycle. But either way though, before we get into that however though, here we go on to the next mission in Dreadnoughts Galaxy, and that is Dreadnoughts Colossal Cannons. And I believe this mission, it feels exactly similar to the ones in the forms of that one mission in Battle Rock Galaxy, which is called Battle Rock Barrage, except the fact that I believe we're gonna have to deal with the 2D platforming section now. So even then, though, rather than just able to dealing with the forms of like, you know, the Gravity 3D section. But even then, though, let's just go ahead and move along. And you could also perform a shortcut right there, so that way you could able to don't deal with the forms of the actual like some switches in this section, but once you've done so, then you would proceed. So even then, no, not too shabby either. So, and of course you need to watch out by the forms of those chain jumps right there, specifically the mini chain jumps, because either way, you really can't afford to able to get a knockback or anything like that. So, anyways though, let's go ahead and just hop onto these little screws right there, ever since in Super Mario Bros. 3, but even then, it's a nice little throwback, but the forms of how it does it back in, you know, in Super Mario Bros. 3. And I think it might actually continue doing that in the forms of, like, New Super Mario Bros. Wii, and especially noticeable with New Super Mario Bros. U, / New Super Luigi U, if you really want to count it that, and even especially noticeable with New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe for the Nintendo Switch. So even then, that makes it a little bit more when it comes to the actual, like, you know, the screws they actually just managed to put in on, so... Yeah, as you can see, for this mission right here, it's entirely in 2D, and as a result though, we need to dodge, well, you can still maneuver around by the forms of the 3D plane, but ultimately though, when you're trying to get onto the moving platform, it just goes in a 2D formation, or in this case 2.5, so that's the case because of how the fact that, well, you're no longer gonna have to deal with the gravity segment or anything like that, because these platforms doesn't gravitate the gravity itself, so naturally we have to able, well, there might be still some gravity segments every once in a while, but it's just only for one set of platforms. So you can then know, like for instance, if I was trying to land on that platform over there, the gravity will shift over to the forms of that specific position. So luckily though, I believe the checkpoints are quite helpful in this level, because either way though, what makes this mission kind of tricky is the fact that we need to dodge a lot of those cannonballs, and to make matters worse, if it makes it a lot more difficult for you, for those of you first time playing this, if you get knocked back by the forms of that cannonballs right there, what makes it a little bit more often than that is the fact that you would able to actually get yourselves a knockback by the forms of that cannonballs. I mean, you see why in just a moment. But for now, let's go ahead and screw you, Michael Goomba, screw you. Honestly, he just never seems to give up right in front of me. But anyway, so let's go ahead and... No! See what I mean? You see what I mean? I've got my knockback right there. And as a result, I might as well take an extra life. So, But a good thing though is that the checkpoint is right near before I previously died on. So even then though that, you know, because again, this, oh, don't you dare. Okay, thank you. Whew. Thank God it wasn't gonna be like later on though, that we have to deal with a lot of trial and error moments. But either way though, you guys should know what I'm talking about. But either way though, enough about that. Let's just go ahead and wait for a couple of jumps by specifically jumping over for these little shark waves, or the forms of the actual, like, you know, beam shark of anything like that. And then that way we should able to get ourselves the next power stars. Even then though, yeah, that's what I can really say about it here. Eventually at this point is that most of these missions, especially by the forms of Dreadnoughts Galaxy entirely, this particular galaxy, as far as missions goes, might actually take a bit of a while to able to actually complete them. Because as far as I'm aware, the first ever mission in this particular stage normally takes about like 5 minutes, and that could be the same applies by the second mission as well. And I believe also not to mention with the forms of the third mission, which we're about to be getting to right now. So, Revenge of the Topman Tribe. And I believe that we might actually come across the forms of the secret mission too. And I believe, unlike the ones and how it does it in Battle Rock Galaxy, that you would able to actually just try to able to farm those star bits as much as you can. However though, that cannot be applied for this time around, because if you go underneath here, there's a green pipe there. And as a result, it leads us to the somewhat of a similar planet as we actually come across into last time. Except the fact that, I believe the actual garbage dump itself is usually got its changed formations. Even then though, we have to once again clear out the trash. And I believe for this particular mission, it plays exactly like how it did in Battle Rock Galaxy, except the fact that the difficulty, or in this case by the forms of the actual like garbage trash parts itself, is now usually just managed to go into a different shape, or in this case a different layout. So even then, just like before, I suggest you're able to follow those little coin markers, so just in case you would able to easily keep in track of the forms of the aiming skills. But either way though, the only thing that makes it tricky though is the fact that sometimes the bomb itself will take a while to able to blow things up. But either way though, that just like before, if you manage to take out every single trash, then you would able to claim the power star if you manage to do it successfully. So even then though, you blew that trash to bits. Thanks. Thank you, Guillermo. I thought I was to actually be a very good friend of yours. But either way though, that's besides the point. Alright, so that's it for that mission done, and I believe that when we get to move on to the forms of the next mission, or in this case, well, you know, the secret mission is called Dreadnoughts Garbage Dump, which is essentially the Dreadnoughts Galaxy version of, you know, the garbage dump. But even then though, the only noticeable difference is obviously the actual layout, and especially notable with the forms of, you know, the entire environment itself. So even then though, that's how I can describe it. So even then though, let's head back in here and do the mission properly. So, yeah, let's just get into this. And anyways, let's get into the forms of the continuation discussion of the forms of Nintendo Direct that's going to be happening today, of the forms of tonight as it is. Apparently it's going to be mainly focusing on the most likely Nintendo Switch, rather than, you know, both Nintendo Switch and Nintendo 3DS, because I'm sure enough, the 3DS itself is slowly going to be dying, and as a result, by the forms of the life cycle, well, at least if depends, I might be not unsure of, because either way though, it's just pretty dumb luck sometimes, especially back in 2017. If you ever think about the 3DS itself might be over and just move on to the Nintendo Switch, and especially noticeable in 2018 as well, they're expecting that the 3DS will be ended by then, but it just keeps on going and going and going. And I think we've already mentioned about this from the past, but either way though, that's besides the point. And anyways, as far as the actual main focus, which I've already mentioned about it before, not only does it mainly focusing on most likely Nintendo Switch games and stuff like that, most notably the upcoming ones like sometime in spring, which I think we might actually get some more infos of Yoshi's Crafted World, which I'm sure enough we might as well will be, and especially noticeable with, I would say by the forms of how the fact that, that one specific Nintendo Switch title that usually has its own focus, just like in the forms of how it does it back in during the likes of in March last year for the Nintendo Direct. They actually did sometimes focuses on Mario Tennis Aces to see how that game actually plays out properly, even by the forms of new features and stuff like that for that nature. And okay, assuming that and also same applies by the forms of in September. Good lord, what is happening with me today? Anyways though, let's just get that live stream just in case for the sake of beings. So, anyways though, apart from the fact that, actually I'll get into more details onto that whenever we move on to the forms of the next stage. See, even then though, here we are into this particular familiar UFO platforming stuff again, but except this time that the actual lasers is now in red. And as a result, I believe the battle itself is plays exactly like how it does it back in during the likes of in Battle Rocks, but the noticeable difference is this time is the fact that now we have to rely on these moving lasers. So as a result, and also at the start of the battle, that he now spawns in those regular Topman enemies now. So even then though, that it makes it incredibly tricky and challenging, but again, just like last time, then you would deal with him no problem. So just in case for this matter. So anyways, let's go ahead and deal with him for a last final blow, and there he goes, explodes to pieces. And let's obtain the Power Star itself. I never normally use the forms of that Luma shop, to be honest, because either way though, I rarely used it other than, well, in some situations because of how the fact that, well, usually I'm very, very good at this game ever since back in 2007, where in 2007 it's all over the place, and especially it's all new to me, but still. But anyways, that's it for that. I don't really think we can actually come across into a prankster comments just yet, but until, for the time being, let's go and move on to the next stage, which between these two right here, I think I should go for this one first, just because, well, for that 52 Power Star count, I believe this might actually be the last stage that we can deal with in the Garden Dome. I don't know if I can do it completely done by the forms of this video, but definitely the next video shortly after. Anyways though, here we go on to Splattered Galaxy. So, it's basically a full-fledged level ever since in the secret mission in Ghostly Galaxy, pretty much. And the mission is called Watch Your Step, because obviously we need to watch our step, because if we don't, then we have to, like, commit a suicide, or in this case, you might as well have to be able to lose a life, pretty much, for the standpoints. So anyways though, consecutively, when it comes to the forms of Nintendo Direct and what have you, even by the forms of, like, in September in last year, in the 13th, why is it always the 13th number, at least for most of these Directs nowadays? I mean, usually it has it by the forms of, well, specifically, you know, in 2017 September, the 13th Direct, and, even especially noticeable for the forms of, you know, in 2018, in the 13th of September Direct. But now we have, you know, the 13th of February in 2019 Direct, which is kind of odd, because either way though, is it just me, or is it just more likely a reference to something like number 13 Roxas as the forms of the organization member? And why do I do that? Oh, I'm an idiot. I shouldn't just use the ground power in the first place. That was a bit bummer, but either way though, let's try this again. But hopefully I'm not gonna able to lose my patience here and there. Sometimes this level can be slow at times, but either way though, that's only because you need to keep things up with the forms of the actual, like, continuously moving backgrounds here and there. But that's just how I think it is though for me. So, anyways though, yeah, aside from that, you know, as I mentioned about this, like, 5 times actually for this point of this video, you know, not only does it able to focusing on most of these Nintendo Switch they're going to be showing, Nintendo Switch games they're going to show off, but in forms of the releases from spring and possibly summer, and especially noticeable they're actually going to be mainly focusing on is the forms of not just for specific games, which I believe the runtime on that is the forms of 35 minutes, which is not that bad of a length actually, because either way though, unlike in Nintendo Direct Mini, which it did happen about a year ago right about now, normally it did normally run about like 15 minutes, so even then not by much, but still excitement altogether. But either way though, I'm really looking forward to the forms of today, which I've already mentioned about it before. But the only major focus is by the forms of not only by the forms of Nintendo Switch games, as I said this before. I think, as far as I've heard, they're going to be mainly talk about more info of Fire Emblem Three Houses for the Nintendo Switch, because, you know, just like how it did in, you know, in 2018, they just sometimes focuses on more information on Mario Tennis Aces, and especially with the September 2018 Direct, that sometimes it usually just talks through the forms of Nintendo Switch Online services, or in this case the membership, which still I think that is a very, very dumb decision on my part, especially because you now have to realize that you have to like pay the real money or cash if you decide to able to participate by the forms of online stuff now for Nintendo. That's a really dumb thing in my part still, even by the forms of like after about I would say by the forms of like almost about 5 months or so. But either way though, that's just pretty silly if you ask me. But I did have it now, but I'm not going to use it right about now just because I'm not going to show you the code. And especially noticeable how the fact that I'm actually going to be using it until whenever we get to the actual Let's Play until next month actually, which is of course Super Mario Party. So expecting it might actually be something new related from here, so... Anyways though, yeah, aside from that though, is that still, I think the Nintendo Switch, online, overview trailer back in during the likes of in September last year, they just still got, like, you know, continuous amount of those dislikes, which I found is very bizarre, because either way, that's only because that some people seem to think they really do not like the idea for able to actually use the real cash now, instead of, like, you know, just actually access through the actual, router or anything like that. But either way, though, that's just, you know, it's just one of those days. But even then, though, it doesn't do that back in 2017, because you can play online whatever you wanted to. Like, for instance, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe back in, during the last 2 years, because, you know, Nintendo Switch has almost been out for 2 years. So, but at least until next month anyway, and it might be a perfect opportunity, since we're going to be, doing the Let's Play of Super Mario Party until next month. Hopefully it should give us the best opportunity that we could able to celebrate the Nintendo Switch 2-year anniversary. Well, at least as far as the actual concern with this kinds of stuff. So, anyways though, so that's it for, you know, Matter Splattered Galaxy. As you can see right there, watch your step, it's been fully completed. And as a result though, since we've actually reached up to the forms of an even number of stars, or in this case by the forms of how much power stars I've got. I think I've actually got about 94 right now. So even then though, let's head on to the forms of Dreadnoughts Galaxy and just go ahead and deal with the next comment, which this time around though we got the speedy comment. See even then though, and I'm afraid to say this is actually the last one of those speedrun comments, because either way, after that, I believe we're going to be moving on to the final stage, alongside with the forms of the Prankster comment itself as well. So anyways though, here we go with Topman Tribe Speedrun. So the only noticeable difference is obviously we need to deal with the time limit, but this time around, we got 6 minutes to deal with. So expecting, because of how the fact that this mission is easily the most longest mission in the entire game, but actually, I actually got a plethora of time for doing it, because either way though, because I actually know what the actual mission itself looks like, and as a result, yeah, that's what I can really think about. So, yeah, screw that. Let's just do a backflip instead. Because why? I have no idea. But anyways though, let's go ahead and dish out this Topman here, in case if we need to. Yeah, unlike any forms of Battle Rock counterparts of this particular same exact mission, it's the fact that we need to able to deal with that, actually, you know, dismiss the forms of that electrical fence twice instead of just once, because either way though, now we have to rely on 2 Topmans now, so even though that makes it really obvious. Now I'm still going to be saving that one blue star chip from, you know, that on both of the forms of that ground pound switch. I'll be saving that for later, because obviously that's where the pole star leads us to. So anyways, let's go ahead and obtain this, and sure enough we can proceed. So yeah, I'm not going to mention about the forms of the announcements just yet with the forms of Nintendo Directs, because obviously this has been uploaded during the likes of at 6 o'clock in the UK time, or possibly lesser than that by the forms of in other countries in here and there too. But either way though, that's besides the point for that point right there. So anyways though, let's go ahead and be very careful right there. I'm really not a big fan of how the fact that, yeah, that at the moment my TV was actually a little bit higher up, and as a result my pointer itself is actually gone pretty messy all of a sudden. So even then though, let's just go ahead and... What?! Oh, man! Oh, whatever. So let's just try that again, and there goes my life stream. Oh, Jesus Christ, I'm getting wrecked! Oh, Jesus Christ. What is going on with me with this mission? I know I'm in a hurry with this particular mission itself, but it's just the fact of the matter is though, is the fact that I need to hurry things up, because even then though, that I really need to able to actually finish this recording session up before, like, let's just say by the phones up at this point, about 3 hours-ish, that, well, I would classify for saying by the phones of like 4 hours or 5 hours left before, you know, the direct starts, and I'm about to die here, so even then I need to be very cautious and don't be so hasty, so even then that's why I need to consider that. So, well, good thing there's the live stream from here, so let's go ahead and obtain that, and there we go. So that way we should able to be settle things in. So even then, let's go ahead and launch ourselves back onto the exact same planet as from last time, but except the fact that now we have to rely on the time limit, so rather than just dealing with the forms of just 1 unit of health. So yeah, as far as the forms of the actual tallies with the forms of the prankster comments so far, the fact of the matter is though is that we already know that the fast forward comment only has 2 of them, and then cosmic comment only has like 4, and I believe you gotta be kidding me. Anyways though, and as far as the speedrun comments are concerned, well, there was one from Dreadns Galaxy, and there's also another one from Splattered Galaxy, and especially noticeable there's also another one from, I would say, by the forms of Dreadns Galaxy, and I believe that Dreadnoughts Galaxy might actually holds up for a final speedy comment, and as a result for that, then that'll be it with the forms of the speedy comments in Super Mario Galaxy. So I wonder what that one specific comment though, out of all of those 4 colored ones, did actually got the most out of, but even then though, you guys should know what I'm talking about. But anyways though, that's it for Dreadnoughts Galaxy for now. And, excuse me, and we'll move on to the forms of the final main, stage, until the final, main world anyway, but we'll save that for the next couple of days or so, because, I'm actually not gonna mention about the forms of the announcements specifically for this game specifically, because I'll actually decide to take a break after this particular part is up, because I'll actually let Mario go back into the forms of his Let's Play of Super Mario Odyssey. So even then though, that's because of how the fact that, well, Mario hasn't spoken that much, to be honest. Alright, so here we go with the forms of Melty Molten Galaxy, and this particular galaxy is basically just Lava Fest, and as a result, just like in the forms of how he does it back in Freeze Flame Galaxy, is the fact that we need to deal with lava and all that stuff. But the noticeable difference is the fact that with, of course, the lack of ice, or in this case, the lack of snow. And as a result, though, that way we can able to actually just cope with it. So, anyways, and I believe the first mission in this is I'm presuming, even though I wasn't paying that much attention, because I just had a lot of conversations that I'm really looking forward by the forms of Nintendo Direct by this point. So even then, though, that still, I'm really looking pumped for that. So, anyways though, let's just launch ourselves from upwards, and don't go into that just yet, because if you go down here, there's a whole bunch of star bits. In addition with that, you are super safe inside the volcano, unless if it starts to rise. So, yeah, just have to keep that in mind. And I believe this might actually be the, I would say for the last time, or the final time, with the main stages anyway, and especially noticeable whenever we unlock the final Hungry Lumber eventually. This is actually the last time we can able to deal with the star bits grinding in one of the stages. See, specifically for the secret mission in this level in particular, that we need to able to feed him about 80 of those star bits, which is quite a lot, but either way though, not as many as the forms of the second mission in Dreadns Galaxy, mind you, but either way though, yeah, because in the second mission in Dreadns Galaxy, they managed to force you to able to give the Hungry Lumber 100 of them, because of, you know, the demonstration of how this star bits actually works out. So this actually leads us to, possibly in my honest opinion, one of the more tougher secret stars in the game. Just because, well, first of all, we need to rely on, you know, rising lava and all that stuff. But here's the thing though, is the fact that in this mission in particular is that once again, we need to able to actually keep on going after those silver stars. In fact, this might actually be the final time doing the forms of the silver star hunting, because after that, well, specifically for later on anyway, then I believe we're going to be still continue doing that. But either way though, let's go ahead and deal with those annoying little fire bombs, as you can see right there. And I did have a hard time trying to grab onto that live stream right there. But once again, if you manage to obtain those silver stars in hand, then the power stars should be located right over there. But here's the thing though, I have to, oh no, I'm gonna have to die for this point. And I believe, if I accidentally die on that specific planet right there, I'm actually gonna have to go back into where the Hungry Luma was originally located. So even then, that might be... Still, in my honest opinion though, this is easily one of the more difficult secret power stars in the game actually, in my opinion, because, well, you're gonna die most of the time. And the secret mission is called, Burning Tide. So even then, that's as far as I can say. So, this is actually the final secret star in the game. So, yeah, specifically if you ever played, you know, the Mario's playthrough of the game, because, again, I'll mention about that later on, but either way though, let's head back in here and do the first mission properly. And I really need to figure out what the actual mission's name it was. So, it is the Sinking Lava Puri. Well, at least as far as the forms of that little pronunciation errors, which I must admit though, I do apologize for that. So I'll let Mario to able to actually discuss upon the Nintendo Direct, you know, announcements during the likes event tomorrow, which might actually be on the exact same day actually as the Valentine's Day, and also as a result, because I need to able to actually just to be full in love with Rarity, which as far as you might actually disagree with me on this, because either way though, because I know for the fact that, well, it's just my personal taste anyway. But I digress. Well, for a beautiful white unicorn, even for a pony as it is. So anyways though, that's as far as I can say. Because, you know, I'm still really hyped for it. And again, I'll let Mario mention about that whenever he decides to get back into his Let's Play on Super Mario Odyssey. Which at this point, I think he was actually going back into Casade's Kingdom for now. And as a result though, he might actually go ahead and get back into that specific game before when anything else can happen. So even then though, who knows, we're able to notice that. Even though I might actually go ahead and say this right now, I'm actually going to be coming back to this until eventually at the very end of February, because even then though, I'm actually kind of busy on these little parts at the moment. So anyways though, let's go ahead and... Son of a... I have no idea why I'm being so hasty, and I died again. Oh, what's wrong with me? I have no idea. Even though I'm just getting a little bit more overdosed by the excitement for now, because either way though, I just need to concentrate on the forms of that. There we go, that's what I need to go for. But on the other hand though, might as well take a risk again. Even though, luckily though for me, I've managed to get the coin right here, so even then though, that way we could. Ugh, I'm doing so bad at this right about now. God. Hopefully until later on though, I won't be feeling as like rubbish as it is. So anyways, let's go ahead and just launch ourselves from another planetoid to planetoid. Well, despite the fact that with the forms of like, you know, some tons of UFOs, even though, yeah. As far as I can remember, back in like in 2007 or something, mind you, I haven't really watched upon the forms of like, you know, E3 stuff back in the day, just because I did not exactly know of what's gonna come in, because I was actually, like, back in the day, I was busy playing, like, other Wii games, like, for instance, Wii Sports all the time, and especially noticeable with WarioWare Smooth Moves, and a SpongeBob SquarePants creature from the Krusty Krab, which I no longer have anymore, just because I feel like the controls in the Wii version is a little bit sluggish to me. And as a result, though, I think most people seem to prefer other variations, or the other versions of, you know, creature from the Krusty Krab game. And as a result though, because, you know, it just actually feels a lot more easy to control. But anyway, anyways though, so let's just move on to, oh yeah, and also by the forms of Sonic in the Secret Rings as well. And we play, because I might be curious to try out, and especially noticeable with, of course, Mario Party 8, because of the new Mario Party game, and especially noticeable by the forms of... gotta be kidding me again. Anyways though, and also same applies for Super Paper Mario, so there's quite a lot of titles I've actually just managed to purchase back in 2007, of course, because, you know, that is my top priority at the time. But either way though, since that the Wii Shop channel is now been forever be gone, and as a result though, I'm actually felt so sad. But I digress. So anyways though, in this final part of this mission right there, we have to make our way to the top before the lava starts rising. And as you can see, I'm actually kind of felt a bit too sluggish at this point because I was trying to anticipate to trying to able to show off you guys some shortcuts and what have you, but sometimes my shortcuts, trial and error can be a little bit more common these days. But once you've reached to the top though, then you've claimed yourselves your power star. So you just have to watch out for a lot of fiery hazards or anything like that, including those annoying fire bombs, which, trust me, that can really tick you off. But anyways though, since we've actually done with this mission, and as a result, we've unlocked the final Hungry Luma stage. And we'll save that for the next video. So join me next time on Let's Play Super Mario Galaxy. Here's the fact that we're going to be continuing exploring through the Garden Dome and finishing up with Melty Mountain Galaxy, and that's about it, obviously. So see you guys next time. Later, fellas.